is a singing final. You should consider another major.
Oh my.
We don't think that you're cut out to be a singer. So I went home and I cried on my cold apartment floor for like days.
Yeah.
Because they just told me that I couldn't be what I knew I was supposed to be.
Right.
And I hated them. My mother hated them. That's when I went to Africa that summer.
Right.
And I came back and I got my Bachelor of Arts in Music, and I knew that, okay, I'm not going to be an opera singer, but I don't want to be an opera singer. I never wanted to be an opera singer, I just wanted to go for the good training. And over the next few years, I tried out a lot of different things, and I was in Los Angeles, and I found a voice teacher who was strict but caring, and she empowered me, and she told me that I was good, and it wasn't all about what was wrong.
Right.
It was about, let's grow, and this is what's right. And with her and other people around me, I found the strength to really just go for it. And so life has taught me that I wanted it badly enough, and now I am it, and that not only am I a singer, but I own that I'm a wonderful singer, and that my dreams are coming true.
Do you have to be fat to be an opera singer?
Yes.
Why are most of them so huge?
No, you don't.
But most of them are huge. They're like...
No, they're not. A lot of them are. But, I mean, one of my favorite opera singers, Susan Graham, is not huge. Cecilia Bartoli's not huge. Pavarotti, yes.
Is there an advantage in being fat to sing opera?
No. Because you need so much breath to sing opera, a lot of people think that you need to be large, and yet the breath isn't in your fat.
Right.
So you need maybe to have a larger lung capacity. And so, but there are very small, like Renee Fleming, she's a skinny woman, I believe. There are small opera singers. It's just a stereotype. But you do have to have horns.
Okay. And unfortunately you weren't born with horns.
No, even though I'm Jewish.
So what's your personality when you're singing as opposed to your personality when you're just sitting around being interviewed?
I don't know. Ask the audience.
Ask the audience.
I think that I'm just a very proper person, and I think when I'm singing I let that go. So I'm probably more loose. Not in any way that you guys want to believe that, but but just more free in my body, and I'm elated. It's when I'm happiest.
So what do you need to do every day to progress as a singer?
I thought that I needed to do a bunch of administrative work, which I still kind of do, but what I mostly need to do is sing every day. And it's good for me to say that, so I remind myself. But to warm up, to sing songs that I like, to sing new songs, to continuously learn new music, so I'm challenging myself, and to just keep my voice in good shape. Because the voice is like the body. If you don't exercise it regularly, your range can become smaller, it can become harder to sing.
So what type of singer does alto, soprano, which one of you?
I'm a bass, no. I'm a bass. I technically am a mezzo-soprano, which is like, there's soprano, which is the highest, mezzo, which is second, alto, which is lower. But I really have a large range, and I can sing pretty much all of the female parts.
So do you believe more in free will or more in destiny?
Yes. I don't know. I'd like to say I believe in free will, and I also feel that sometimes there is fate or destiny. So I'm just learning. What about you?
Well, in the present moment, I feel like I have total free will. Like I feel like I could ask any question right now.
Uh-huh.
But people who know me could predict most of the questions that I was going to ask you before I even asked you. And people who know me and who know you could predict how the interview would go before we ever sat down and did it.
Right.
And people who grew up with me could kind of predict many of the courses of my life. So I feel in the present moment like I have free will. But when I look back at my life, I see that in every situation, given who I was and the context that I was in, I could not have acted differently. So when I look back at my life, it all seems fated.
Huh.
But right now, I feel like I have free will.
Right.
But
I mean,
when I look back on today, tomorrow,
Right.
look back on today, it's like, well, of course you asked those questions. Of course.
So maybe backwards it's destiny and forwards it's free will.
Yeah, I mean, life is lived forwards because we tend not to be in the present moment, but to be thinking ahead.
Mm-hmm.
But it's understood backwards.
Right.
Like only the significance of what we're doing here right now will we understand, at some point in the future when we look back.
Right. Do you ever like to do something that will shock everybody?
Yeah, all the time.
Well, I was like, I'm just getting to know you, but that seems like who you are.
Yeah. That's who I am. Like I did this Torah talk with this rabbi about 10 days ago. I just started singing in the middle of the Torah talk. It's like,
that's fabulous. I endorse that. I like to do that. I don't think that's as normal for me, but I like to, intentionally just be strange or do something that would shock people, because otherwise life is kind of plain.
Exactly. Now, can everyone sing on tune? Because, for instance, I grew up with the world told me very clearly, you cannot sing on tune to save your life. So can everyone learn to sing on tune?
Everyone can learn to sing on tune, yes. The world taught you very clearly wrong. And actually what probably happened is the world said it and you believed it, and so
Right.
then that became your reality.
Yeah.
People say that there is such thing as being tone deaf, and I don't believe in tone deaf.
Mm-hmm.
Basically with training, practice, and consistency, you can learn to match pitch. If you're an adult and you haven't learned, it's going to take extra work. It might not be so easy. But if you have the determination, you can. And there are training programs, not ones that I do, but there are training programs specifically for people who want to match pitch. And I've seen people go from not being able to being able to.
Keep hope alive.
Yeah. And so it is my belief, and this is where some people, it's controversial, and I've been told it's actually not controversial, but it is. My belief is that everybody can sing. And the reason I say it's controversial is that when I tell people you can sing, they're like, no, I can't.
Right.
I'm a horrible singer. And they fight for their life
Right.
that they can't sing.
Yeah,
and I'm like, dude, chill out.
Right.
Cultures around the world, people sing and dance and play drums and do things around a fire in community as a part of everyday life.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't matter how you sound, it doesn't matter, how loud or how quiet you are, but you're doing it, and it's a part of your life, and it's part of ceremony, and that's a freedom. In our culture, music and singing has been reserved for the concert hall and just for singers. And so one of the reasons I'm here on Earth and doing what I'm doing is to let everybody know that you can sing, and you also have a beautiful voice.
Do you believe in God? I know you believe everyone can sing, but do you believe in God?
Isn't it the same? That would be my answer.
Do you believe that God wants you to be a singer, or do you believe that He doesn't care?
I think when I grew up, God was the man in the clouds, in a Jewish sense. Like, everything I put together with the Jewish God, and then the Jewish belief in God, the Jewish views on God, and then sort of the Walt Disney belief in God, I put those together, And then I sort of went through an agnostic period